remember when you told me about Tiger King? Like, you were really early on Tiger King. You were like, you have to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to do that for you right now with Love Fraud.
Okay.
You have to watch this. Okay, Love Fraud is on Showtime. Or if you have a jailbroken Fire Stick, it's on your jailbroken Fire Stick. Love Fraud is the true crime documentary version of Tiger King, where it just keeps going. The twists, the turns, it never stops. Okay, so it's this search for Richard Scott Smith. He uses the internet. He uses basically like apps. You get the impression that he's on like Tinder and Bumble and all these apps to prey upon unsuspecting women and to pretend that he's like in search of love. And he says things like, you know, I'm a pilot, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor. Like it's the whole thing is just a fraud. And over the course of the years, over the course of the time this takes place, we meet dozens of women. And the implication is that he's conned hundreds of women, hundreds. He has like 3 at a time going. And some of them he takes all their money. No, that's okay. So we don't know. Like we don't meet him. We see like pictures of him. We see snapshots of him. We're like, wow, this guy must be something. This, you know, he kind of looks like a young Bruce Willis. You're like, wow, this guy's really conning the women, you know? So, but these women are getting conned quickly. So it's not the long con. It's not like he's with them for years, takes their money, and that's it. He's with them for short periods of time, gets what he can get out of them, and then moves on.
Mm-hmm.
But for a lot of them, to get what he wants to get, he has to keep marrying them. So he's married like 15 different women. He's been engaged to like 30 others, and then there's a bunch more that he just dated and somehow like stole their credit card, stole their credit card number, opened a credit card on their account, stole their ATM. One woman, he stole her life savings. Another woman, and here's my favorite part of the story. Another woman, they met at a karaoke bar. She's obsessed with karaoke. He got her to steal her husband's 401k, give it to him so they can move to Wichita and open a precious little crab shack, which they do.
Oh, I love this guy.
And so he opens the crab shack. They do tons of press for it. It does really well. And the money is flowing in. He steals all the money and then leaves her.
Fine. This is a whole game. I mean, he's been doing this for years.
Wait, I got to explain who this is. So all these women start to realize that there's other women out there. So someone starts a blog and suddenly all these women are on this blog. And then you go on there and you see there's like hundreds of women who've been conned by him on this blog. And now they're out to find the new women to warn them. So somebody says, listen, there's a lady bounty hunter. We got to get her on board because she is tough as nails. She's going to help us get this guy and nail him and stick him in prison. So we meet the lady bounty hunter.
The lady dog?
A lady dog. Her name is Carla. She's terrific.
You guys need to go on farmers.com.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I'm serious, and let me tell you why. Because country boys ain't out for what you got. You guys are looking for old school guys, and there just aren't very many left.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, she feels terrible for them, but what she decides to do, she decides to help them, and she's going to waive her fee because
they don't have any money left. That's why.
Well, most of them don't have any money left. That's true.
Right. He took all the money.
Yeah, he took all their money. Some of them he didn't take all their money. Some of them he just, opened up things in their name and or bought houses, in their name, that kind of thing. So it's 4 episodes. And you're watching it and you're like, you keep seeing glimpses of the guy. Then they finally track him down and they find this one woman who's like, I'm in love with him. You guys are lying. This isn't true. And she's in total denial about it. And she gets him involved with her father. And I don't want to give it away, but this whole thing ensues with that. And it all ends with us finally hearing from him. Okay? Here he is. And let me just tell you, when we meet him, he is not the charming, suave Bruce Willis type of guy. He has one eye that's like, I think he claims to have had some sort of injury. So he has one eye that's like keeps twitching because it's like half closed. And then he has this mouth twitch. and he's sort of like dweeby. And I looked on Twitter, and they're all like, anybody else getting the gay vibe from this guy? Because he doesn't come across like this suave kind of guy that women are falling for. He comes across like, I mean, he's a mess. It's like he's got a neon sign that says stay away from me, yet he's somehow able to trap these women. Here, the documentary filmmakers kind of track him down, and they ask him this question, like, what do you say to all these women? What do you say to this documentary we're making about you and all these women who are accusing you? How do you feel about this?
Well, my life has been very, very difficult at every single turn, which you've created. I really hope that you're satisfied, and I hope you're happy with your results, because you got the results that you wanted. But I'm going to tell you, real surely, I'm a diamond. You're not going to break me. Nobody's going to break me. I will bounce back, because I still have me.
You will survive.
Have my integrity. I'm a new me now. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
You know, you'll stay alive. You will survive. You will survive.
For what you've done to me.
So this is a television show. It's a 4-part documentary series called Love Fraud on Showtime. And it's so good because you go with them to chase this guy across the country. And they hire private investigators, and you hang out with like different bounty hunters until they finally nail him. And there's a huge twist at the end that I won't give away.
Okay, so it's on Showtime now.
Yeah, it's on Showtime right now. And, or if you have a Fire Stick.
No, that's illegal, Cooper. You can't talk about that.
Oh, okay. Well, no, it might be on the Amazon Fire Stick anyway, because you can get Showtime on there.
If you buy Showtime. So you
That's
should
right.
buy Showtime so you can watch quality programming like that and Ray Donovan.
Exactly. It's worth buying Showtime for.
Have you ever heard of a guy called Larry Lawton?
No, who's that?
Larry Lawton is a guy who did a lot of time, like 30 years in jail.
Okay.
And he does this video podcast on YouTube where he talks about if you go to jail, this is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. This is if you walk into jail and you see everybody wearing flip-flops, then fights aren't going to break out.
Really?
But if they're wearing boots, it's gonna throw down. Somebody's gonna get stabbed. Somebody's gonna fight.
Wait, so why don't the jails stop letting them wear boots and make them all wear flip-flops?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's giving things that he saw in his 30 years because he was a jewel thief. So he got busted. He did 30 years. And then he brings other people on that have done 30 and 40 years with him and spent time in jail, and they talk about things that they did. He now has an RV, and he just goes around the country and talks to people who spent a lot of time in jail, most of the time with him, and they talk about things. So this guy, he went in 1987. He just got out.
Wow.
And so he's talking about when he went to the bathroom for the first time and he couldn't figure out how to flush the toilet.
So I said, okay, well, let me use the bathroom. I went over and used the bathroom, and after I got finished using the bathroom, I went to flush it. I didn't know how to flush the toilet because it's all sensors. Right? And I laugh about it now, but it wasn't too funny then. You know, a guy looked over at me and he seen that I was like a little confused. And he said, just back away from it. And I was like, what? You know, because I'm in a bathroom with some guy talking to me. I never seen before in my life.
I didn't even think of that.
And I'm like, okay. And I backed away, and the toilet flushes. So then I'm over at the sink to wash my hands, and I'm looking for the pedal or something.
Right.
There's no handles, the same thing. He said, no, just wave your hand under the faucet. So I waved my hand under the faucet.
What kind of voodoo is
I
this?
wash my hands.
A lot
I
of
tell him,
technology
"Thank you," and I leave.
over the past 40 years.
Right. So these things that he has no idea.
You know, it's weird. Like, I feel like when you go, if you know someone in prison, you go visit them, don't just say like, hi, how you doing? Here's how grandma is. Tell them what's going on. Be like, we watched this show. It's called The Sopranos, or, you know, whatever year they were in there.
Right.
I mean, like, tell them what's going on. Tell them about Tiger King. Tell them about, I don't know, all the automatic stuff we have in the world. Tell them about apps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they have no idea. They were talking about, and I had no idea this jail even existed, this place called ADX. It's in Colorado. Have you ever heard of ADX?
What does ADX stand for?
I don't know what it is. It's just it's a super max prison. This is where the shoe bomber guy goes. This is where the Boston bomber dude goes.
Oh,
they send
okay.
them to this place. So when you go, you don't get out. But one guy actually spent, I don't know, 15, 20 years, and he finally got out somehow on a technicality. So he starts talking about what he saw in this prison. And this prison, it's things you've never even thought of before.
Like what?
Like the jail cell, you only have one cell to each person.
Right.
And you don't leave there 23 hours a day. And it's all cement bed, cement chair.
I'm looking at you know what? I'm looking at it right now. Because you can go online and look, and the window is just like a little sliver of window.
And they have it angled to where you can't even see out. So you don't know where you're at. You can't see traffic. You can't see the sky. You can't see
Right.
anything. So you're in there all day long. They feed you in that room. So they slide something.
There's no mess hall. Like you eat there.
Right. And if you go outside, they put you in a little cage outside. So then they bring you back in.
Wow.
But they said, every now and then they'll lock the jail down and you won't be able to leave for weeks. You're just in that room. And so sometimes they don't even have lights on, anything. So it's just dark. They just sit there. So jails like this, I never knew existed.
Yeah, it's like a supermax. Yeah, that's really crazy.
Supermax prison. They said that's the most hardcore jail that we have in this country.
Yeah, that's not where you want to end up.
Yeah, it's very interesting. These guys tell you what to do, what not to do. Don't look at a guy a certain way. They tell you if you're going to go in, should you.
Well, how can you look at somebody? You're in there 23 hours a day.
Well, that jail is different because that jail, you can't even talk to anybody else.
Right. Okay, you're talking about a jail where you actually can go out and talk to other people, but don't look at anybody.
You don't look at anybody.
Everybody's Ellen DeGeneres and Mariah Carey. Don't look at them.
Don't look at them in the eye. Cigarettes in some jails, they were saying a carton is $1,000.
Whoa.
And the things that guys will do for a cigarette, you don't want to know about.
Eey.
So the bottom line is, don't go to jail.
You don't have to worry about that. I'm too much of a good girl.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Like if a cashier gives me like an extra $1, I run back. I'm like, here, this is yours. Your tip drawer is gonna be.
Please don't take me to jail.
Your drawer is gonna be $1 short. Here's an extra $1 for your time.